All right. So, a warm welcome to each of you who is here live. This is going to be an exploration of the sweetness and the joy and the profound good fortune that can come into your life when you open your heart, your mind, your soul, and your body to the sacred feminine. And this particular class is an introduction class to my curriculum that I have called Shakti Awakening. So I wanted to open the first class available to all, to somebody who's never done any curriculums with me, or to some of my students who've been through all of my programs. So please let me know in the chat if you've ever been at any of my classes, of any of my webinars, or if you're completely new. If you're completely new, I want to know. It's always like a special experience. Yes, to illumine the house. So, do we have anybody who is completely new, who's never taken any trainings with me? Hey, Tony, a second one. Victoria, new to my space. All right. Doris, hi, good to see you. All right, welcome. From Sweden, Matilda, completely new. Jennifer, good to see you. Completely, yes, you've done some courses with me, and new to webinars. Hi, Crystal. I'm from Texas, my first time, but I watched the replays before. I'm so glad that you've joined live because today is the full moon. For anyone who just joined, I shared that it's a very auspicious time to come together for this full moon in Taurus, which is all about our ability to enjoy the sensual human experience that we really took form. Why would we choose to come back? Well, I have my ideas, but one of them is because we love the sensual delights. We love the touch. We love the kiss. We love the sexuality and eros and delicious meal and a glass of wine or whatever you drink. I drink cacao now. So eros is ability to enjoy life, right? Eros is that ability to celebrate life. So imagine that we can connect to the whole cosmic current that it's called empowered erotic feminine, and to activate that energy more in our life. This applies to all genders. The goddess that we're going to be contemplating together has unique gifts for women and very unique gifts for men. So for men who are present on this webinar, I believe there's 3 of you here. Thank you, Divine Masculine Trinity. This will be inspiring for you to connect to this energy, and I will share with you in what way. So before we go any further, yes, this class you will only hear me. You're not going to see me on video as often you do. We're just trying something different, we're spicing things up. But this is me, and my name is Katerina Satori. I am an author, speaker, and mentor. And at the very core of everything I do, I'm a devotee of the Great Mother. And this what has been the journey that I described. There was a journey before I met Divine Mother and the journey after, 2 different experiences of reality. And I published the book this year called How I Met Divine Mother. Took a lot of courage to release it because I do still battle perfectionism. It's a pattern that doesn't leave that easy. But I did publish it with the help of Michael Bright and Kev, who are present on this webinar. They've been cheerleaders and they've been supporting the birth of this book. But it all started with me actually creating this course in 2020. Remember how 2020 was so wild and difficult to forget? Well, Goddess Awakening Sacred Feminine Wisdom curriculum came through as a divine download in 2020. And I heard the voice of Isis, who is the goddess of alchemy from Egyptian pantheon. And she spoke to me and she really guided me through the most turbulent time of 2020, instructing me how I can serve my community. And last year, Shakti Awakening was born around summer solstice. And that came as a different kind of a experience of divine feminine embodiment, a mix of rituals and invocations. So this is a background, why I am sharing these teachings and how they can be useful to you in your life and your leadership and your relationship with yourself and with everybody that you're in the relationship with, right? And I'll share more a little bit about my personal experience with Kundalini awakening because this is going to be a big part of this class. So this is what we're going to cover today, or at least this is my intention. Because the moment I start leading a class, I surrender to the goddess, what she wants to bring. But my intention was to give a voice to this unique path, the path of Shakti, the path of tantric experience of life, and to speak more about how does the tantric deity yoga can bring empowerment to us right now in the time of great transformation, and why kundalini is a very relevant topic for all of us, because kundalini is not just sexual erotic aliveness, which is a great start. Kundalini is a heightened consciousness, multidimensional awareness, and a powerful visionary abilities. Kundalini awakening is infinite, meaning once it starts awakening, it doesn't stop. It erupts in your body as ecstatic liberation into bliss. Then it takes you down into your own version of the underworld so you can root this blissful energy and integrate it. And learning to ride Kundalini waves is not for unprepared. And this is why this class exists. I want to share what I've experienced through my own life and, of course, through esoteric mystical studies in order to support those who are either standing on the threshold of Kundalini awakening or actively going through this experience right now. Lalita or Lalita, it depends how you pronounce, is the goddess that will be featured in this class. And she is extraordinary. She teaches us how to manifest through embracing our desire, right? Not rejecting it, not pushing it aside, not suppressing it, but truly embracing our desire. She also teaches us how to meet our inner beloved on the inner plane and how to manifest our beloved on the outer plane. If you already have your beloved, then what you will learn in this class can help you see your beloved in a new way, right? To really appreciate them in a new way. So we don't make this really sad mistakes when we stop appreciating our partners. So, this class, my intention is for you to really see, if you already have the partner, to see them in a new way. And if you don't have the partner, you're calling that in. I'll share with you the process of how to activate that powerful force of attraction in your life. Is that sounds like a good plan? Let me know in the comments. Who is excited? Yeah. Okay. Should I keep going? Okay. Just checking. Hey, Zoe, good to see you. Oh my goodness, we have Australia in the house. Wow, so good to see you. I'd like to start with sharing with you how I activated Gnosis in my life. Gnosis is direct knowledge that comes from your DNA, that comes from your body. And my journey to divine feminine began with apprenticing with one of my greatest teachers, the spirit of the jungle, the spirit of Gaia, ayahuasca. And she called me when I felt really fragile in my life. I had a broken heart. I had a barely functioning brain. I really damaged my neurochemistry. So I had a lot of agitation in my brain. I couldn't focus. I couldn't be around people. So I was very vulnerable stage of my life. And because I've learned to be tough to survive in Soviet communist Russia, where I grew up, I was powering through this experience through willpower, just dragging myself through the mud of life. But deep inside, my soul was bleeding and my heart was broken, and I was looking for healing. And I went through a breakup that I couldn't recover from, and it took me by surprise. I already had plenty of tools. I already studied Tony Robbins, affirmation, self development work, right? But that breakup with the man who I thought was the one just shattered me. And I couldn't collect my pieces. And I just kept sinking deeper and deeper and deeper into depression. And by the grace of the Divine Mother, because it always happens by her grace, an opportunity to come sit with ayahuasca came into my life. And from that ceremony, 16 years of apprenticeship began. And I kept diving into ayahuasca work because I found it was like a fountain of divine wisdom and divine healing and divine truth. And what I kept discovering was distinctly feminine entity. I met different guides. I met ancestors. I met ascended masters. I met galactic guides. They were all visiting me on those journeys. But the key conductor of the symphony that called ayahuasca experience was always a female divine entity. And only later through the years, I realized that was Divine Mother with whom I was connecting. And what she was doing, she was taking me through Kundalini awakening. And it was a gradual process and many, many different stages, many different years. But she was working to activate the memories of ancient lifetimes in ancient mystery schools and temples. And she was also helping me heal my relationship with my sexuality, to really heal it so it's an empowered relationship with the eros. It's not the relationship with your sexuality where you don't value it and you just give it away to anybody you are slightly interested. And it's not a relationship with your sexuality where you repress it, right? And you are afraid to touch it. But a real relationship with our eros is pulsating relationship with life itself. And there is no Kundalini awakening without awakening our erotic energy. And what I've been receiving ever since I came back from Peru, I just led a mystical pilgrimage in Peru, which is a Kundalini awakening land. What I've been receiving is that the awakening of humanity that we all intend for, call for, and really yearn for will take place not only through psychedelic renaissance that is happening right now, not only through somatic renaissance, through breath work and movement, people coming back to their bodies, right? But also through erotic awakening, through healing of our relationship with our sexuality, because then the Kundalini can rise through our spine and we become fully alive. And when we are fully alive, we dare to be fully expressed. We dare to move forward with our passion. We dare to make bold moves in our leadership. We are magnetic. And people join our movements, people join our alliances, right? People want to support what we're creating or to be a part of what we're creating because we come from that deep, passionate essence. So that's just a few kind of words of my journey with Divine Feminine. And I could, take a week sharing with you in depth. But I'd like to start there, how it all began. And then I was also led to the path of Tantra as a timeless wisdom tradition, right? As a path of Tantra. I remember one of my teachers on Tantra, he described Tantra is a dance of Tantra is life of ceaseless change. And this is an ancient wisdom tradition. It's a non-dual Shakti Tantra is the one that I am practicing as a relationship with reality where you see everything is sacred, everything is made of divine energy. And this is the path of non-rejection, meaning you're not rejecting what comes to you, you're not rejecting what leaves, and you're not rejecting any of your qualities, including your shadows. But you're using everything as alchemical fire for transformation. And you see everything as a part of wholeness, right? Everything moving as one. And this symbol that you see on this slide, this is a very ancient symbol. Is anybody knows the name of this symbol? A little mini test, a quiz, a spontaneous quiz. Yes, Carolyn Sri Yantra. So this is actually a symbol of goddess Lalita or Lalita. So if you already been drawn to this Sri Yantra, then goddess Lalita has been contacting you. That's one of her esoteric symbols of these beautiful triangles that represent divine masculine, our solar energy, and divine feminine, our yin energy, coming together in a perfect unity and balance to give birth to a new life. Now, a little bit about Shakti and cosmic energy. This is the name that comes to us from India, right? Shiva and Shakti. And or in the Asia we have yin and yang, right? But I love the word Shakti because it's power. It's the power that we all have within us, that we can activate, that we can feel, that we can connect to, that we can channel. It's a life itself. And there is many expressions of universal Shakti, many expressions. And how do you know which one to work with? Well, I'll start with these three levels that I have learned from one of the greatest mystical teachers of our time, Sri Aurobindo, who was just as magnanimous as Paramahansa Yogananda. But Sri Aurobindo has never left India, and he was there while Yogananda was here. But Sri Aurobindo writes that there's three levels of how we can experience Divine Mother or sacred feminine. The first level is transcendental. And it's the level that our human mind just collapses in paradox, trying to understand transcendental Shakti. It's just imagine that everything that exists is Shakti. Everything that has life is Shakti, right? So then we go down a little bit and we imagine the universal level. We imagine that the space is the mind of the goddess. We imagine that planets are her body, right? Okay, now our human brain has capacity to grasp that image. In order for us to make a intimate personal contact with the divine feminine, we got to create a personal version of that. And this is why we have all these goddesses, right? So these goddesses of different lineages, they give us an opportunity to make a personal connection with an expression of Shakti. And that's like Lalita or Durga or Lakshmi or Sekhmet or Isis or Tara. All of them represent a unique flavor of Shakti that we can create a relationship and channel her power in our life. And then there is another level. It's our inner feminine, right? It's our inner oracle, the one who can guide us through the uncertainty, the one who doesn't desert us when we go through death, the one who whispers to our heart and reminds us that the rebirth always comes. It's our inner guide, our inner healer, our inner priestess, independent of gender, our inner feminine, right? So that's how I flow with these tantric teachings to kind of like on these four levels of awareness. And then we have the Shiva and Shakti, and it's our sacred union within our inner masculine, inner feminine. And this is the aim for all spiritual journey, is to come into the sacred union within. And it's also the key to manifesting your divine potential, to activate and balance this energy. Well, consider it in your own life. Sometimes I meet people who discover sacred feminine, who discover the way of receptivity and allowing and surrendering, and they have been starved from that experience so much that dive into the ocean of the feminine and completely let go of their inner masculine. And they just can't get enough of the feminine way of being, of flowing with life, of just being in that I don't know, but I feel everything and I am so delighted. And they letting go of structure and order and bit of responsibilities of their life, right? So, and then they quickly realize, oh my goodness, I am out of balance. I, I, I think I missed the mark. I think I lost my balance. I think the feminine swallowed me whole, right? So, and then we have another version of that where, it's only masculine, forward, solar, dynamic, will, mental, right? And there is no feminine, then we dry up and we become very rigid, inflexible. And that's also imbalance. So, in order for us to activate and fulfill our potential, we get to have both. And we get to learn this art of attunement. How's my inner masculine? How's my inner feminine? How's my flow? How's my structure? How's my ability to speak and create and wait and receive? Is that in balance? Now, I'd like to share with you a beautiful understanding of the deity yoga. This just recently came to me as profound illumination that in this tantric deity yoga that I practice and many people around the world practice, the whole practice is this. The aim is to learn about the deity that you resonate, to study her qualities, to learn her myth, to feel her presence, and then the final outcome is to embody the deity, to become her expression while in human form and in your daily life. So the goal is, or the aim is, to embody Lalita. And, she's coming. I will tell you, I will share with you this glorious sovereign queen. But this is very important to understand what's the purpose of us investing the time to be curious about this path, is because we can embody this deity, we can embody this quality. And isn't that what we really need right now in this age where divine feminine is incarnated on the planet, but it's not incarnated in the air? It's incarnated through you and me, who are choosing to become the vessels for her, right? It's a partnership between the divine feminine and you and I. So this is the path of embodiment. The path of embodiment, it's what I just named. So if you're ready to learn, the tantric path is here. I found this image. Look at this. This is a beautiful Kundalini image. So, in the few words, the key aspects of the tantric path Symbology is very meaningful because it's a symbolic language. You look at the symbol, and the symbol begins to communicate to your subconscious mind where your memories of your past lives are, right? So symbols are very important. This is why in this slide deck presentation, you have a lot of images. It's very intentional to activate your subconscious through images. Then the second step is ritual, right? Ritual is when we directly begin to engage with the divine through devotional practice. And that ritual begins to nourish us, begins to empower on us, help us build roots. And when our roots are strong, there is no reason to fear the wind. And then there is a meditation where each goddess that we work with, we begin to build a relationship through meditation, visualization, and invocation, right? And we meet the goddess in that middle world where in the physical, the deity or the goddess, the divine feminine, is in the world of spirit. But the way we communicate, we use this word, the imaginal. It's the whole name for this realm. Imaginal is where we communicate with all divine entities, and we use the power of visualization to build that bridge of connection. Now, Kundalini is always a gift of grace. Kundalini is always a gift of grace, is when the goddess herself decides it is time to reveal herself to you. So we can only prepare for that experience. And part of preparation is education. So if you were guided here, it's an amazing sign that you're listening. Something is calling you here, right? Part of preparation is education. Our conscious mind needs to be prepared. Then the second preparation is energetic, right? And we prepare our heart to receive her. Now, this is really important to address. I often share this on my social media that divine feminine is not a gender, it's a realm of consciousness, it's a field of intelligence that we can connect to. And I teased by introducing this class, I said, I am going to name the qualities of divine feminine and why it matters. Because we are all being invited to reorient our lives, our careers, our businesses to different values. And the divine feminine prosperity flows to those who orient to her values. These are the few that I have been activating in my own life since 2018 when I was attending Divine Feminine Leadership Conferences, was initiated in Goddess Isis lineage. And I remember I had this deep, deep call. One day I will speak about Divine Feminine business, Divine Feminine leadership, but I knew I had some embodiment to do. I had years to actually put it through my life. So these are the few qualities, I would say, right? So take a look with what you see. And this is not a comprehensive list, there is a lot more. Just a few, how different it is from the old paradigms that so many of us are tired of, right? And the last one, learn to trust and trust. How many of these you resonate and experience in your life? Let me know while I take a sip of water. And then I would say this is whole can be a whole other webinar, but are really important to name. Divine Feminine is business. It's intuitive leadership, intuitive decision making. All about nurturing your relationship with the community, forming alliances, being visible in both your radiance and your authority, expanding your capacity to receive, moving at the speed of Shakti. When Shakti moves through you, are you allowing her power to move through your body, or you blocking it through your mind? You keep blocking your own expansion. That's what I'm experiencing. My dear friends, last 2 years has been a training. You get a download, run, offer, create, release. Don't suffocate it with your intellect. Be organic, wild, Shakti, spontaneous, responsive, beautiful, powerful, all of it. And when you are told to pause and rest and be and still, can you surrender into the gap? And for high achievers, my fellow high achievers, recovering perfections, that is not easy for us. My ego fights the most in the gap. I get so uncomfortable when mother tells me, no more creating for you. You be in the gap. It's time for you to rest. I fight that, still do. So, this is a process of this inner mastery of learning to trust these cycles of Shakti, which is very intuitive, very organic. All right. Are you ready for Lalita? Oh, Lalita, because she is a sexy CEO. She's a very rare role model of a profound blend of executive power. She gets stuff done, right? She has boundaries, she gets stuff done. Nobody can walk over her. She's a sexy CEO, but she's also very erotic, expressed, sexy, feminine, unapologetic, no matter what people or deities think of her. A beautiful blend, and she gives us an example of how to be both. And when you meet her, when you learn about her qualities, it's just intoxicating beauty and wisdom that she brings. For men, dear men who are here, Lalita or Lalita is a muse. Every man needs a muse. Isn't it so? Let me know if I'm wrong. Every man needs a muse, but often men look to other women for muses. Now you have this incredible erotic goddess that can be your muse, that can inspire your mind with visions, with inspiration. You don't have to be in a sporadic inspiration. You connect to Lalita, and she becomes your fuel for your inspiration, for your creativity, for your leadership. She also can help you attune how to be in a relationship with a mature erotic feminine, whether it's your partner, right? Or somebody, or you desire a partner like that. So this is very powerful. The goddess teachings are not only for women, right? It's for all genders, and the goddess comes in our life, becomes so sweet and so passionate. I've been talking a lot about Eros, and sometimes I forget to demystify this. Eros is not a cupid with the little arrows that we get on Valentine's cards. Eros is life itself, the driving force of life. Every time you meet a person with big charisma, a magnetic person, you see somebody who embodies the erotic energy. They're alive, they're magnetic, and who doesn't want that? But let's go deeper. Eros is also our relationship with reality, that we came to have this fulfilling life. We didn't come here to live a life dry as a rice cakes. We came to live life juicy as a ripe mango, right? But we are the ones who have to give ourselves radical permission to engage with our life in that way, to engage with our creativity, to engage with our business, to engage with our relationship as a juicy mango, not a dry rice cake. Is everybody here with me to make this new orientation to live a life full of erotic aliveness? Because it's time. because we get to be magnetic because we can. And Lalita, or Lalita as I call her, is my ultimate role model. Yes, so I love it. So Lalita, as I shared with you, is CEO of her life and unapologetically sexy. She has this very unique blend. She's so sweet. Her energy is just pure sweetness and deep embodied wholeness. But don't fucking mess with her. Don't try to backstab her. Don't try to cross her way. She is a very powerful goddess, right? So that's the archetype. Can you imagine having both in yourself? Sweet, whole, but your warrior is here to hold your boundaries so nobody can mess you. Nobody can fool you. Nobody can scam you. You are alert and aware. And that's your strength and your power. So I rarely swear, but sometimes it comes through. I hope nobody's offended. But sometimes, once in a while, a couple times a year, F word comes through. So let's talk about right relationship with pleasure. She teaches us how to use pleasure for fuel, beloveds. And so many of us recovering high achievers, we get dried up is because we postpone our pleasure. We think when I reach six figures, when I reach seven figures, when I reach 10,000 followers, when I publish that book, then I'm going to go get a massage that the last time I've had 5 years ago. But the pleasure is what gives you fuel to finish that project. So pleasure is a prayer in the goddess tradition. The art of giving yourself pleasure, the art of seeing yourself as a divine being who is worthy of pleasure. That's what she teaches, right? That's what she teaches. And the mystical union with your inner beloved. So we'll go deeper into this because if some of you here are calling in your beloved, you're not going to receive him or her until the inner meeting takes place. This is universal law. And those of you who are already in marriages, long term partnership, you get to continue to cultivate mystical union with your inner beloved for your relationship to continue to become more erotic and more alive with your human partner, right? That inner beloved has always been within. And this is profound, profound understanding that this goddess teaches us. So we invoke Lalita. Isn't even her name is sexy, right? She's a goddess of divine play. She's here to tell us, hey, remember the cosmic joke? This movie is very brief. This life is a very brief movie. So while you're here, live it well. Live it well. Give yourself permission to have both. In the Shakti path, you can have both worldly enjoyment and yogic awareness, sweetness and fulfillment, sexual merging and embodied spiritual bliss. And the divine union, I found this. Isn't this image absolutely stunning? I found it on Pinterest. It was available to anybody who wants to use it. I'm like enchanted by this image. This is our inner Lalita and inner Shiva, right? Divine union that we can experience through sacred sexuality and calling in your tantric mate. All begins with becoming your own best lover, learning to see your body as an expression of the goddess. Here's the thing, a lot of times we'll look at goddesses like Lalita or Lakshmi, and they're so stunning. They're overwhelmingly beautiful. That may be a part of us that says, well, I'll never be like her. She's a goddess, but who I am. But here's the tantric teaching. The goddess became you. Every eyelash, Every hair on your body, every pore of your skin is the goddess taken form. The goddess became you. That's a new title of a new book. It was given to me a few months ago. The goddess became you. So that can also help us move from this programming of unworthiness that we all have been indoctrinated through Judeo religions of original sin that created such impact on our sense of worth. How can you feel you're worthy from the moment you were born? You've been told that somebody already died for your sins, right? This indoctrination goes deep. And we get to reclaim that. We get to see the divinity of our body, divinity of our sexuality, divinity of our hearts, and unshackle ourselves from those patriarchal religions who suffocate our radiance and our power and our aliveness. So the goddess became you. And when you become your own best lover, then you begin to see life, entire life, as expression of the beloved. For me, everything changed when I decided to become my own best lover. Here, I'm going to go a little juicy with you. Are you ready for this? I realized that my creative energy is directly connected to my sexual energy. And was the huge turning point. Huge turning point. And when I was activating my priestess archetype, so I literally lived like a nun for a couple of years, but not in a old version of a nun. I was like a embodied, sexy, ecstatic priestess. Right? And the most amazing cosmic, sensual, sexual experiences while being celibate. So if you don't currently have a partner, you are your own partner. You have an incredible opportunity to activate your body in a tantric divine way and to rediscover these channels that lay within you and the holiness of that yearning. And this is exactly what I did when I was apprenticing with the goddess, and she was asking me to be patient, right? And it's never been a matter of lack of choice. It's never been easier uh to find a boyfriend, a girlfriend, right? It's never been easier. But when we are walking this path, we are such attuned antennas that it's all about energetic alignment, erotic alignment, and nervous system compatibility. So when you want that, you are willing to be patient, right? And in the time where you're walking your path solo, this is your opportunity to become your own best lover, to marry yourself, to activate your sacred sexuality through different practices, and to continue to let go of attachment to when the beloved will come. It will come always by the divine grace, probably when you least expect it, right? And it's going to be such a beautiful curriculum, as I call it, divinely appointed partnership. Will never miss you. What is meant for you will never miss you. And our job is to continue to remove those blocks, the limits in our own mind, the list, the 50 qualities that your partner needs to have. Burn that list and decide to embody everything that's on your list. Say, am I embodying all of this? And only then you can ask the list, right? That's my deep, deep belief and conviction. It's all about, am I embodying what I'm asking for? Because if you do, manifestation becomes really, really rapid. And while you are having this beautiful sensual experience, and if you are already in your relationship, see your beloved with fresh eyes, because your beloved is Shakti incarnated. Your beloved is Shiva incarnated. And forgive yourself when you begin taking them for granted, because it's a very human experience. When you only see them as mortal, they are immortal, taking form, divinely appointed for you. to you. Oh, ah, we're running out of time, beloveds. Oh, what is time? Uh, I hope you understand if I will move through some of these slides to save the time because it's already 46 minutes. This is what happens, right? This is what happens when we are in the portal of the feminine teachings. Time disappears. One moment, I am going to attune what's really important to share with you about Lalita. I'd like to share with you uh, uh, she's totally badass. Lalita is badass. So I want to show you her image. This is a tantric image of Lalita. And every symbol in this image has a deep esoteric meaning. You see, this is the moon, this is the sun. It represents two eyes of the great goddess. You're never going to look at the moon and the sun in the same way, right? You see these flames? This is the ocean of divine fire, divine love. You see her having four arms, and different object represents different power. But I'd like to share with you that she is positioned on a sort of a bed made of lotus. And who supports her? Her consort Shiva. He lays in full divine submission to the goddess. Let's get that straight. Look at this willing, divine, holy submission, because Shiva knows without Shakti, he is just primordial stillness. She is the one who animates Shiva. And look at this. Look at this, my dear ones. This is my favorite part of this image. All creator gods from the Hindu pantheon are supporting this. So we have Brahma, kind of like a cosmic grandpa who spinned the galaxies, who set everything to motion, Brahma, the creator, Vishnu, the sexy sustainer god, right? I like Vishnu a lot. He's like the artisan, the artist, the creator, the sustainer. Rudra, the destroyer, and Shiva, the sum of all three gods. I feel so deeply moved when I look at this image because it's a supreme power of the goddess. And we here in the West, we don't have education of this lineage, right? We don't have access to these teachings unless we really seek them out, unless we feel the call of our Kundalini rising. So this is Lalita, and we can decode every part of this image, and why are her breasts are bare, and the power of her waist, and the eyes. There is a hymn of 1,000 names of Lalita, the most powerful mantra that describes 1,000 qualities of the goddess. And when you read it and you study it, you are being transformed. So another part of this tradition, it's you read sacred text, and it's a wisdom yoga. And a sacred text is a transmission in itself. It transforms you, it empowers you, it activates remembrance in your consciousness. And she's the power of beauty, but she's not a power of this unreachable beauty. She's the power of beauty to remind us that we each have an inner beauty that we get to bring out the beauty of our soul, the beauty of our radiance. And we lose touch with that beauty when we begin to compare ourselves to these impossible, crazy standards of our culture. We begin to forget that the beauty is the beauty of our energy. We don't have the beauty of our energy. We don't have the beauty. So the true beauty happens when we begin to activate our heart, we begin to bring love into everything that we do. We begin to feel seen in our passion and our devotion. That's the true beauty that Lalita teaches us. She asks us, do you see your own beauty? And are you willing to be radically empowered? Lalita as an archetype can be confronting, right? She can shine the light on all the areas of our life where we still don't take our power fully. We're still afraid to trigger people. We're still afraid of envy and jealousy. But let me tell you, you can't avoid it. You can't avoid it. So what? When you are walking with the power of the divine feminine, this jealousy arrow can never reach you. You become to feel this invisible cloak of protection, the great grace, great mother. And you dissolve the arrows of projection and judgment and jealousy through your compassion. Your compassion dissolve those arrows. You know, this is what gives me strength to be very public with my work, to be constantly on live streams, on videos, and speaking and teaching. And I used to be so scared of criticism. I was so afraid that somebody will write like horrible comment, or somebody will spread rumors, or somebody will, it's so easy to destroy somebody's name through lies. And I remember I was so afraid of that. And working with the goddess liberated me. It's the goddess who said, daughter, there is only me. I am everything. So who you are afraid of? Who are you afraid of? There is only me. And that's to me walking the path of divine feminine. This is how practical it is. This is how empowering it is. She brings you sweetness, aliveness, transformation, but also protection and real empowerment. She's not going to do your work for you. She's going to do your work with you. And to me, that's the real growth. So curious what resonated with you, what you took away from this class. And everybody's still here. Nobody dropped away. Hi, everyone. I guess it's resonating for you. All right. I'm so happy. This is my passion, my friends. I, there's, when I ask myself what I'm devoted to, I came back from Peru after Kundalini Awakening. Another one. I said, what I'm devoted to, and I'm deeply devoted to divine feminine teachings. Uh, they're here to guide us to a new relationship with life, to a whole new, yeah, to a whole new relationship with the universe. I am grateful for your shares. I see them. Thank you so much for all these shares. Keep sharing them. And don't have time to go through the mantra, but I do have an invitation for those of you who want to go deeper. And I'm going to take a few moments to introduce to you other goddesses who will be teachers. Think about like a faculty introduction. I have a curriculum called Shakti Awakening, and it starts next Friday. I only teach it once a year live, and it's never the same way. And this time it's going to come through as a feminine mystery school, semester one. So this is the graphic for it. And this is goes. So the first one that we meet after Lalita is Lakshmi. And Lakshmi is the goddess of good fortune and abundance. She is here to teach us how to manifest a great abundance in our life. So, Lakshmi is the power, refinement, elegance, sophistication, beauty, right? She's an ally that we want to have in our life. My favorite goddess, my beloved asked me the other day, who is your favorite goddess? And without hesitation, I said, Durga. I am in love with Durga. She's a warrior goddess, undefeatable warrior goddess. And she has 8 arms or 10 arms. She's a cosmic multitasker, truth teller, power of determination. We need Durga energy in our life if we want to get things done, to finish the projects, to move through the battle with self doubt and fear. We need Durga. She is undefeatable. Isis, how can we have a feminine mystery teachings without Isis, who is a high priestess, who is a teacher of alchemy, who is here to teach us how to prevail and how to turn any obstacle into opportunity. So Isis will be here with us, and Saraswati. She is the one who teaches us how to speak in enchanting way, how to channel divine wisdom, insight, and how to create masterfully. So Saraswati is here with us as well. And it is 5 weeks, 5 feminine archetypes, and each session is going to feel like a mini retreat. So if you'd like to join me, darlings, this is an opportunity. And this journey is offered at 3 levels of investment. And level 1 is open right now, and it will shift to level 2 without a warning. So if you'd like to take advantage of this amazing experience, I invite you, and I'm going to send you a link directly right now. Right here. Who would like to join me? Yes, you're very welcome. You're so very welcome. And I am excited to be with those who would like to join me on this powerful activation. And to work with the feminine is always, I would say, parallel experiences. First, you activate her energy in your body. And second, you release and you purify subconscious resistance to embodying this power, right? So when I lead divine feminine teachings is always a mix. There is a transmission, a sort of what you experience today. It's a transmission, it's a teaching that are really important for our mind to understand why, right? And then the second one is the ritual itself. Just imagine going into a space where you meet the goddess and you experience her. And third, you will receive a sacred mantra and a practice that you can cultivate a relationship with the goddess. So each session is like mini retreat. Yes, yes, yes. And beloveds, for those of you who are looking for support, I run my entire business on Kajabi, and you can take a look at the checkout page. There is afterpay, and there is a different payment options. Your payment can be as low as $50 a month, right? So it all goes through Kajabi. If that supports you, it's very flexible. But I invite you to finish this year strong. And of course, you will have an opportunity to ask me questions, channeled guidance directly for you. And we meet every Friday starting next week. And again, I teach this curriculum only once a year. You're so welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I am very proud of myself for finishing in 1 hour. Usually my webinars are 2 hours, but I'm becoming more concise. Happy full moon. And remember, beloveds, the part of pleasure, for those of you who still have a few minutes, I'd like to share with you the healing power of pleasure. Because to go deeper into Lalita, she is Kundalini in us, right? So if you're still here with me, probably what's going to come through right now is going to be the most important part. The goddess is within us. She is Kundalini. And when she begins to awaken through the path of pleasure, through the path of this tantric deity yoga, where we seek her, we contact her, right? We create this acceleration and expansion in our life. And more than anything, we begin to channel her courage, channel her vision. I'll give you a very specific example. Before I left for Peru this year, I said a very courageous prayer. Don't say this prayer if you're not ready to live the effect of it. I have this rascal in me who just wants to go for the fullness of this experience. Maybe because I'm not sure if I will take another incarnation in this planet. So I'm just gonna squeeze all lemons, all mangoes in this lifetime. Right? So this is the prayer that I said. Are you curious? I said, Divine Mother, teach me how to surrender to you fully. And then the second prayer that I said, Divine Mother, may your vision be fulfilled through my life. And then I said it and I felt like a cosmic power of that invitation. Not only I could not take those words back, I didn't want to take them back. But this is what happened next. I went to Peru, guided a group of 16, 17 of us through safe, harmonious, profound transformation. I've never seen so much transformation happen in one group. Wow, wow, wow. But then what happened, beloveds? I went through Kundalini awakening there. Woo! Another one. And I came back and I was integrating and I received such a profound teaching about 5 stages of how feminine moves through us. And the profound gift when we're being given an alchemy of death. The death is a profound gift, like an ego death, spiritual death, the death of the old identity. It's an honor of you as an initiate of light. Death is never a punishment. Death is never something that you did wrong. It's an honor of your maturity. And the goddess wants to move quicker through you. Kundalini wants to run bigger through you. And that is why you're being emptied out. But when we don't understand the gift of that, we panic, we freeze, we begin to stress, we worry, and we drop our vibration to fear, right? I know because I've been there. But there is another way to move through these cycles. There is another way to bring your most revolutionarily profound work into the world without losing your radiance, without losing connection with your pleasure. And this is what the feminine teaches me. So that's what I am inspired. And you will see me creating other invitations in the next few days. But this one is so sacred to my heart. I just can't teach anything before I teach this. It's a very important journey. So thank you so much for receiving this. And if it's for you, the goddess will call you. And I am so grateful to be her messenger and to ignite that remembrance in you, in your sacred heart, in your sacred body. And so you remember your beauty at every age, that you remember every eyelash, every wrinkle, every scar on your body, is the goddess. And next time you look at yourself in the mirror, you look at yourself in wonder. Every freckle, every sunspot. I've been receiving so many sunspots lately. I just don't even worry about getting rid of them anymore. I'm just learning to love my sunspots because it's the sunspots of the goddess. That's what I want to finish this webinar on. You see, that's the playfulness of Lalita. Can we love our beautiful lashes and sunspots and whiskers? Can we love it all? Can we fall madly in love with our messy, holy life? Because it's time. Yes, that's right. So that's right. That's right. All right, divine souls. Thank you so much. I'm going to go make an offering to the ocean. And please cyber stalk me on internet. I am on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. And are you ready for this? Are you ready? I'm on TikTok. Oh, yeah, with the young kids. There I am holding the light. So, even on TikTok, we need our light everywhere. But I don't do those crazy TikTok videos. I just I break the TikTok algorithms by talking very slowly and sensually. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you so much. And turn your camera. No, it's gonna be a surprise, Doris. Next time. Next time. Next time. I love you, darlings. See you soon.